Lock number 1. The LA Rams head to Detroit to take on the Lions. I've picked against the Rams all year. I do not like Case Keenum. I do not like the Rams. And not a big Jeff Fisher guy because he's been mediocre. Detroit looked good last week. They've been inconsistent, but they're home. The spread is 3 in their favor. Lock in the Detroit Lions to win that game. The Rams' favorite record is 500, which means they're going to get there at 3-3 with a loss to the Lions. Lock number 2. I'm going to do it. I'm going to lock in the New York Jets against the Arizona Cardinals. No, I'm not a freaking idiot. I'm not picking the Jets to win the freaking game. But I'm going to lock them to cover that spread of 7.5. I think the Jets are in a must-win scenario. They're going to be playing their hearts out in Arizona. And Arizona has been inconsistent with Carson Palmer there. Obviously, the Cardinals are going to win. But 7.5, I think the Jets will lose by maybe 7. Maybe if they're lucky, 3. But I don't see them losing by more than a touchdown in a game where their season is on the line, essentially. Going 1-5 or going 2-4 is a huge difference when your second half of the schedule is fair. Lock number 3 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're 7.5-point favorites in Miami. We stayed at the Metro when we in Miami. I think the Steelers are going to crush the Dolphins. I mean, look, the Dolphins just got crushed by the Tennessee Titans. Do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win by a field goal in Miami? No, they're going to trounce the Dolphins. I'm taking the Steelers. That offense is explosive with Le'Veon Bell. I think Antonio Brown's going to have a monster game. Let's hope he does it for my fantasy teams as well. Lions lock, Jets lock, number 3 lock, the Steelers. Number 4, the Broncos are only 3-point favorites against the Chargers. In San Diego, quarterback situation still a little iffy. It seems like Trevor Siemian will play, which, again, I'll say it again, it's crazy that they need him to play because he just looks more ready than Paxton Lynch does right now. And Simeon's looked wonderful since he played. And if he does play, as they say he will, I'm locking in the Broncos as 3-point favorites. I know San Diego's been close all year, but I just think there's just so much heartbreak right now on that team. And I think Denver's defense is way too good. And I'm actually surprised, even in San Diego, that this is only a 3-point spread. I know this is one of those games you look at where they're begging you to pick the Broncos, and all of the money is going to be on Denver. And I'm gonna be a sucker and fall for it. I'm locking in the Broncos as a 3-point favorite. My last lock, Luke will like this, although I don't know if they're gonna win in Seattle. I think the Falcons will cover that 6-point spread in Seattle against the Seahawks. The Seahawks have been wildly inconsistent. They've had their moments here and there, but this isn't the same Seattle team that we're used to in the past. I think Atlanta is scoring at will. I think their offense has been hard to stop even with Seattle's defense. I think the Falcons will keep this game close in Seattle. I think they do lose, but I think it's going to come down to a field goal in the final minutes. I think they cover 6 points. Lions, Jets, Steelers, Broncos, Falcons are my 5 locks against the spread. JB's locks against the spread, which you check every Friday on CBSSportsRadio.com. Let's run quickly through the rest of my picks for the week. The Jaguars and the Bears. I like the Jaguars as 2-point favorites on the road against the Bears. Why can't they win by a field goal against Brian Hoyer? Sure, they've looked better with Hoyer, but the Jaguars were everyone's favorite team